Stop doing chest flies like this. In this video, we're going to take you through 3 different variations of a dumbbell fly, a cable fly, and a pec deck. How you should be doing these exercises correctly to build a big, thick, juicy chest, and what you shouldn't be doing, because a lot of these things you're going to be doing, which is probably why your chest sucks. So firstly, we're going to go into doing a dumbbell fly and teach you the right and the wrong way of how to do this. Okay, so firstly, when it comes to dumbbell flies, one big tip, I wouldn't suggest doing it completely flat. Normally, I would take it up 1 notch, and that will allow you to focus more on your upper chest. Now, one of the key things you want to think about with all of the fly movements is line of force. So you'll see a lot of people bring the dumbbells down here, thinking it gets your lower chest. That's not correct. You want to come straight across on every different fly movement, keeping of that plane of motion. So from the side on, you can see there, not here, not up here. So literally, dumbbells above the shoulders, cables above the shoulders, hands always above the shoulders, not too low. So one of the big things to think about when you're doing any chest movement is trying to keep your rib cage stable. So as you lie back, you see my rib cage flares open. What you want to do is contract your abs down, which will pull your rib cage down, which will actually allow you to train through your chest properly. You see a lot of people open up their rib cage, so they're like this, expanded, which is taking the pressure off of your chest, putting more into your delts. And also if you're doing an incline, it's taking it away from your upper chest, because by arching back like that, you're making an incline movement, a flat movement. Whereas if I do that, I'm then going through the upper chest. Whereas if I'm here, it's then more lower chest. So it's all to do with your sternum angle, but always try and keep almost think about your abs closed and keep your abs braced. One of the things you have to think about with all the fly movements is getting away with this obsession of thinking about bringing your hands together or touching the dumbbells. What we actually want to think about is trying to keep our arms straighter. I think about bringing our biceps together to fully shorten the pec. What happens at our hand is irrelevant, it's what happens at the upper arms. It's bringing the upper arm across, which contracts the pec. So lastly, with this in regards to tempo and same as all the fly movements, you want to try and focus on a 2 to 3 second eccentric, and then control the top end of the rep as well. So try and squeeze the top, control the way down, and don't use a stretch reflex. Another important thing to think about is where a lot of people end up damaging their pec and their shoulders is that is the length and range of the pec. That's as far as I can go. I can come back here, but that's then loading my shoulder. So fully lengthened, if you think about the easiest way to find a fully lengthened position of the muscle is like, what's the furthest point away? As soon, so my pec comes here, as soon as I start, and to the elbow, as soon as I start bringing my elbow back around, my pec's actually shortening technically because it's coming back around on itself. So that is the full range of motion is like side on, not too deep like that. Next up, we're going to go into a standing cable fly. So with a standing cable fly, I prefer to go slightly higher. So go high to low and lean forward. So I'd have 1 foot forward, 1 foot back. Same we were talking about earlier, the dumbbells, keep your abs braced. And again, think about bringing the arms forwards and together. Think about bringing your biceps together, not your hands, biceps across. So you'll see this is how a lot of guys do a cable fly. It's this, throwing it around, like you are working your chest a bit, but this is a lot of front delts. And there's a lot of movement and it's way too quick. So what you actually want to be doing is you want to try and have a solid base, hands forwards, into there. Wide. Keep it really controlled. So again, fully lengthened is there. I can go deeper, I can come all the way back here, but that's then putting it more into my pec. So again, if we look at where my hands are coming in front of me, in front of my shoulders, and that's generally the fully short position of the pec. And you can see my chest starting to fill up with blood already, just doing this. I want to keep a really nice controlled tempo and really squeeze the top. Another variation for this, if you really struggle with stability, is you could bring the bench up to an incline like this, push it back into the cable machine, drop the cables to hand height. Actually, I'll just show you for reference. And then you would just drop the cables down to shoulder height and then just fly from the seated position to here. And that would be another variation you could add into your chest routine, but generally for most people, standing cable fly is probably the easiest to set up, as most gyms don't have this type of equipment. Okay, so last we're going to come into a pec deck or seated machine fly. So the big point with this, is a lot of people will sit like this, too upright in the machine, their arse straight back into it. You actually want to bring your hips slightly forwards. Like I said earlier, keep your abs braced. And then when it comes to handle height, you want to make sure that your hands are above your shoulders, just slightly in line. Again, full range of motion is to there, so your arms are horizontal with your torso, and then straight forwards. Again, consistent tempo. Think about bringing the biceps together. What you want to avoid is this. This is what most people do. This is not an effective way to train your chest. Don't be that guy swinging away. So arms straighter, think about pulling through your biceps together, abs braced. Make sure you set yourself up correctly, have the seat at the right height. The seat height is obviously going to determine your arm height, so that's a big thing to think about. Lastly, big thing, hold the handle here, don't hand the holder here. That's for rear delts training into the machine. We want to hold the handle here. Another cue that you can use if you're struggling for engagement in your pecs, as you fly through, think about pushing up into the machine. So almost as you see, as soon as I do that, it contracts my pec. So as you fly, also think about through your hand, pushing the machine up, and that will get a better contraction within your pecs. Just a full wrap on how to optimize dumbbell fly, cable fly, and pec deck for maximal chest development, how not to destroy your shoulders, and how to do the exercise correctly. Comment below any more content you want to see and what exercises you specifically need help with. Smash the like button and subscribe and hit the notification bell to check out when new videos go live.